Hello everybody and welcome back to the 3-2 Zone. I am your host Kenny, and alongside of me my tag team partner, the Luke Gallows to my Carl Anderson, too sweet, Justin. And by the way, welcome to the 3-2 Zone Club. Man, Justin, I don't know exactly how to feel right now. An amazing win that we just experienced just a couple hours ago. Guys, you are actually not the first ever, I think the second ever post-game live coverage officially with the 3-2 Zone. Justin, how are we feeling tonight?
First of all, what I want to do is say to you, to extend your hand out, sir. Doctor.
Doctor.
Okay, alright. But anyways, this game, let me tell you, this game is probably the best game I've seen in the past 2 years. Since the 2015 playoffs, I have not seen the Rockets play with this type of effort, cohesion, defensive awareness. I never thought I'd say that on a Mike D'Antoni-led team.
Mike D'Antoni-led team, dude. It actually came out of your mouth, dude. Comparing last episode where you said defense was not going to be played, we actually held them to 99 points.
I know,
under 100.
They shot under 40%.
They shot under 40%. Before we go into that, guys, because we're going to go into that post game, definitely for sure. But let's go ahead and turn off this music and just talk about the Houston Rockets real quick and how proud we are as fans. And if you're friends with us on Facebook, we individually put up statuses. I mean, how often does that happen? I think Justin puts up statuses every now and then, but it barely is about the Rockets. And I never put up statuses. So this is a pretty historic occasion. I like to think so. And guys, just listen up right here. The Rockets, look, they're not a finished product by any means, but they worked their asses off. And let's talk about this right now, because they were on a 5-game road trip, which included, Justin, listen up, let me tell you, with a trip that included Cleveland, New York, Atlanta, Washington, and culminating into the historic win in San Antonio. Their record was 3-2, putting us at a total record of 5-3. Now the two losses that we did experience was against Atlanta and Cleveland, two juggernauts in the Eastern Conference, and dare I say juggernauts in the entire NBA. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we were in the Cleveland game with about, I don't even know how many minutes. I was at work.
Two minutes, I think, left in the game before LeBron and Kyrie and J.R. Smith decided, well, he wasn't shirtless, but he decided to take over, unfortunately.
But the thing was, to see, I didn't get to watch it, but from what I heard and what I read on Twitter was that the effort was there. It took Cleveland miracle shots to get the victory there, and Atlanta just obliterated us. That was not our night. Every team has an off night, and we were very, very off that night. Mm-hmm. But outside of that one game, we were in all the other 7 games that we have played.
The only blowout taking place in Atlanta.
Exactly. I mean, we were close with LA. We just choked it. And Cleveland, we did the best that we could. There's nothing that you could have really done with that, Mm-mm. But the way that we have played, the way that we have just the cohesion, it's unbelievable. The way that these guys have played for each other with the effort. And you can see with the fact that everyone touching the ball and James, just playing at a historical level.
Oh, believe me, we're going to go into depth on that, guys. Don't you worry. That's having its own segment of its own.
But yeah, I mean, just that everyone is just happy. I mean, granted, we're 8 games into the season, but the fact that we're seeing more energy in these 8 games than we saw all last season is a huge uplift for fans, like especially me, the doubters, And I'm gonna have to say it. They got me back in. They reeled me in. I've never thought I'd be like cheering at the top of my lungs, but tonight they really got me. So you know what? Kudos to you, Houston.
Well, you know what? You got to say this, and this is so truth, dude. And I'm so proud of you for being able to snap out of that funk. I'm so proud of you. Good job. I thought you were gonna snap. Even if the Rockets were to win, I was like, oh man, I don't think Justin's gonna get into it until about 50 games in. That was my thought process, anyways. But I'm very proud. I'm very proud of you and being able to, get reeled back in. It's the girlfriend that doesn't always do the best thing. I'm not talking about our current girlfriends. We love you guys very much, but you know what? Like the Houston Rockets themselves have just been absolutely fantastic. They've done their job. They've done their duty as a team. Considering that they've only played, 5-3, 8 games.
And
8 games.
They're not perfect by any means.
Oh, growing pains is gonna happen.
We're not gonna be the team that people will be completely afraid of, but we're going to be a fun team to watch. And that's what has been acknowledged that I've read and heard, is that this team is going to be a fun team to watch, but we're not going to win any awards. I think it was Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter said the Rockets are like that really, really fun blockbuster action movie during the summer that rakes in a ton of money but gets no rewards from that.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Tropic Thunder. Great movie. I think Ben Stiller deserved an Oscar.
I'll totally
in my opinion.
take that.
He never got it. He got it in the movie, of course.
No, don't forget about Tom Cruise playing the fat asshole.
Oh, that was great, dude. That was awesome. I took her nuts. I got you the table. Oh, wait. No, that's Matthew McConaughey. Oh, shoot.
That man really did win an Oscar.
He did. True story. Man, that was a great sequence. That sequence just there between you and me. That was absolutely fanatical. Man, I think it was just absolutely great what this team has been doing. Like, you're completely right. They're playing for each other. And with that said, let's go ahead and go into the San Antonio game. A signature win that can, I mean, of course, is a feel-good win. Don't get me wrong. But you're talking about standing-wise. You're talking about division-wise. You're talking about how much it hits us in the numerical standings, considering that we are now tied for the division lead with San Antonio Spurs 8 games into the season.
10% of the season, guys. We're 10th of the way there.
Yes, 76 games remaining. 7-6 plus 6 is 13, and that's Undertaker's win for a championship.
Let me say this.
WrestleMania 13.
Let me say
Sorry.
this.
I'm too excited.
3 of
right
the
now.
5 wins
We're so excited we won.
are against division rivals. Mm-hmm. So that's huge for our standings. I mean, any game is important when you're against the division. Granted, we're going to play 3 games, which amongst all of them, but whatever.
Games,
I mean, we won 2 against Dallas, granted. And Dallas is Dallas.
Well, dude, we're actually undefeated in Texas. True
yeah,
story.
which is completely insane.
Yeah, I know 2 years ago I probably would have expected that. 2 or 3 years ago I expected that. But this season, no, it's definitely not. I mean, Dallas has definitely had a slow start. They lost again tonight to Golden State. GG's. I think Dallas might be done for the season. GG's to them. Spurs, I mean, Spurs are just the Spurs. And don't get me wrong, they missed their shots here and there, but the defense really clamped it down. They did their duty. You could tell that the Spurs were affected. The defense was kind of suffocating them to a certain degree. You have to give it to them.
Well, the thing about the Rockets defensively tonight and what we have seen is that the Rockets are playing an organized chaos on defense. Like, they're switching everything. They're having their hands up in the air, and they're closing out on all the jumpers. I mean, granted, of course, by the fourth quarter, we got guys like Harden and Ariza who are putting in a bunch of effort on both sides of the court and are tired. But to see Ariza play this type of defense on Kawhi Leonard was magnificent.
I think I mean, James deserves a game ball, obviously, for the triple-double, right? But, a game ball has to go to Trevor Ariza, which, in my opinion, Ryan Anderson had a great game, too, don't get me wrong, but I don't think without Trevor Ariza's suffocating defense on Kawhi, they don't come out of that victory. They don't come out of that game with a win.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, absolutely, I agree with that. I mean, I'm going to say that, the thing that I really enjoyed about watching Trevor play D is that he wouldn't commit too much on the jumper. Like, he wouldn't leave his feet. Like Kenny always says, never leave your feet.
Mikey, never leave your feet. Always.
But, just the effort was there. You could see that everybody was playing for each other as opposed for themselves. I mean, James Harden, guys. Let me tell you this, okay? His stat line tonight was 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 15 assists. This is the first time in the Greg Popovich era. He's coached in San Antonio for 20 years, okay? The first time that an away player, hit a triple-double with 15 assists in San Antonio. I mean, the first time in 20 years, okay? James Harden is out of this planet right now. I mean, I don't know if you want me to get into the stats, but I'm just going to anyway. He's averaging 30 points a game, 13 assists, and almost 8 rebounds, okay? The guy's putting up Russell Westbrook numbers with half the effort.
Well, that is so true. I mean, we both thought he was hungover tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the guy looked lethargic.
He looks so lethargic. No, it's not a knock on him, guys. We're not hating on Harden by any means. We're just saying he could be hungover because the dude likes to party a lot, but he could also just be tired. This guy has been, running. Without this team, I was telling my brother earlier, without him on this team, you might be vying for the number 1 pick. And yeah, that's what I think, anyways.
I would have been okay with that too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you want Chase North. I think Chase North might be the number 1 pick.
I just like him because his name's cool.
Chase North, I know. She was like, Chase North, out of whatever university he's in. Yeah, but honestly, James Harden, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say James Harden, not like Russell Westbrook. More like Oscar Robertson, now that you think about it, because we were reading that a little bit on Twitter.
Most definitely. Yeah. I mean, to see someone who's hitting, like, insane numbers with ease. That's the thing. The thing is about James is that, we've always known he's had the vision. We've always known that he could pass. We've always known that he's unselfish. But the fact of the matter is that the signings of Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, and Trevor Ariza actually playing more to his level.
And Nene, don't forget Nene.
Yes, Nene as well, Mr. Boris Diaw himself.
2.0.
But anyways, James has just been out of this world. I mean, Ryan Anderson is shooting 43 or 48% from three. I don't remember, but he's shooting
40 something.
He's shooting
so that's
that
a plus.
high. Okay, Ariza's hitting 39% from three. No,
number 8 in the league. He's number 8 in the league.
In made threes. Okay,
yes. He's number 8 in the league.
Eric Gordon's hitting 39%, okay? And we have guys like Ariza is hitting 39%. And then Sam Decker's hitting 41%. Jesus.
Oh, my God. Goodness, guys. Sam Decker, I think that guy deserves his own segment as well. The Sam Decker segment.
James Harden is hitting almost 40% from three, okay? And he hit 41% in the road trip. In the road trip!
The road trip!
Jesus.
I got your back.
Okay, thank you.
There's no way else you can slice it. James Harden, in my opinion, as of right now, is the MVP of this. Not even just this team, of the entire NBA. Because of them, I mean, we're actually tied for being number 1 in the division. I mean, who would have thought?
I know, 8 games in, I would have already counted. I would have said the season's over.
Well, honestly, I mean, I would have thought we would have gone that road trip. I wouldn't have been surprised if we were 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many reasons as to why. But like what my brother said, this team is playing for each other. Guys like Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon, who didn't, their roles were so scatterbrained in New Orleans.
Well, the thing is, New Orleans is like a cursed city.
It is a cursed city. And
Terrence
Jones is currently there now.
I mean,
let's add more to the curse, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, come on, okay, like Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon. I mean, the growth of Sam Decker and KJ McDaniels, that one is just, it's immeasurable. You can't measure the experience that these guys are having in these big games in the beginning of the season. And so, like, I'm telling you, within game 70, game 65, though the minutes that they played here in crunch time will be huge for them down the line.
Well, I'm telling you right now that if they play the way that they're playing right now, I mean, dare I say they can beat the Cavs, and dare I even say they might even be able to beat the Warriors, especially if the Warriors are having an off night, which they have. Not a playoff series. I'm saying just in a game during the season.
Yes,
it's definitely a chance there. No, we're not winning any series.
I would like to believe that we can tie the season series against Golden State this year. I mean, just based on the matter of that. I mean, those guys can play defense, but do you really see guys like Draymond Green sticking to Ryan Anderson to the three-point line the whole time? No. He's going to get his open shots. Granted, they might put Kevin Durant down there, but you know that the floor is spread with the Rockets. I mean, Steph Curry can't guard James Harden. You already know that Klay Thompson is gonna guard James.
Well, Harden's gonna eat on the inside because there's no interior defense.
Exactly. Zaza Pachulia is a little bitch. But anyways, this is all besides the fact that James Harden has been nothing short of a miracle for Houston. I mean, probably the most underappreciated player in the NBA is probably becoming the most productive and the most widespread player right now. Like all I see on Twitter and ESPN is people talking about James, which is amazing considering how not terrible he statistically had his best year last year.
Statistically speaking, but I mean, granted, the ball was in his hands a lot, but also the team just had no heart. He pretty much had to do everything by himself.
Think about it like this: the past how many years has James been here? 5 years, right?
Yeah.
The first 4 years, he was responsible for 15 to 17 points per game for the team. Now he's responsible for 30 points. Okay, think about that: 30 points. He's responsible for just based on assists. Based on assists. That's not even his points, okay? These are points that he dishes out to his teammates. 30 points, okay? That's huge.
I think the only thing that you can worry about at this point is whether or not how long this can last, and how much is
longevity.
How much is in the tank? Obviously, they ran him for about 41 minutes tonight. So that obviously is going to take into play too. I do think, D'Antoni, I'm not going to deny, D'Antoni's doing a great job right now. MDA, kudos to you. But we can work on the minute spread, of course. We don't need to run him for the entire first quarter. You don't need to run him for the entire third quarter. You could take him out in between those times.
We just really need a playmaker. Playmaker in the second unit. I mean, we'd all like to see Tyler Ennis step up his game, even though him and Corey Brewer have been like a -100 the whole time. Okay, but at the same time, it's just you can see that even though Eric Gordon's coming off the bench, he's been good. But as we all watched in the fourth quarter against the Spurs, his playmaking is definitely not there.
No, it is not.
And definitely, we just saw it right there. We're watching the replay of the game, and Eric Gordon just turned the ball over.
On that note, Justin, I totally just remembered that we do have some breaking news, and with that, breaking news. I just plugged that in last second. Guys, breaking news. We did have a deal in line to get Nick Young on the Rockets, which Morey did decline. The deal was Nick Young straight up for a second-round pick. Morey did decline the trade. It was a trade offer from the Lakers to bring Nick Young to Houston. I know when you said playmaker, it totally just rung in my head. I forgot. That story was broken by CyberX on Clutch Fans, who has many friends amongst the NBA community. So take that with a pinch of salt, obviously, but I do believe him. And they did have a deal, and it was declined. So, I mean, Justin, I know you're a big Nick Young advocate, but, I mean, for just a second-rounder, and you swallow his salary, which is, I think, about $6 million.
I truly believe that with someone like Nick Young, Swaggy P, if you play, when you play for a team like the Lakers who have struggled the past few years, of course you're not going to put in the effort. You're going to do dumb shit. But if you were to play for a team in Houston where the first time I've seen accountability before, since Rick Adelman, McHale was just crapshoot. Really the luckiest. We were probably the luckiest team the past few years. But I feel like if Swaggy P were to come here, he would be accountable. He'd be held accountable. And he'd be someone that can create off the shot. I mean, granted, he's a catch-and-shoot player, and he's not exactly a playmaker.
He's a buffoon, though. I mean, that's why me and Justin are at odds. Justin wants Nick Young. I honestly don't think we need Nick Young.
I just really want someone like Gravis Vasquez or Jeremy Lin. I don't care what anyone says. Players like that would help this team. Because we need someone who can create. Someone that can take the ball out of James' hands when he's on the bench and the guy can just literally clap. So he doesn't have to worry. You know? Yeah. That's the kind of help we need.
Yeah, you do need that.
I mean, even though we miss Beverly is not that guy.
I think we miss him defensively.
Absolutely. But he's not that guy off the bench.
No. You have to think that Daryl Morey, with the pieces that he has this season, that a trade might just go down. I mean, the last couple of years has been a little lackluster, especially towards the deadline. But I think something can happen. I feel like something might happen this season. There's been we have a lot of good prospects, obviously. I wouldn't want to trade Decker personally, but you do have Decker, you do have Harrell, you do have the god Corey Brewer. We are 2-0 with him as a starter. My God.
This is my untouchable. Okay, if I had to pick...
Wow, you put Corey Brewer and untouchable in the same sentence.
I didn't say Corey first. Yeah, but anyways, it's kind of like we played that game. It's like, who was it? Marry, have sex with, and kill.
Oh, Lord.
You gotta kill Corey.
I would sex Capella all day.
Capella? Really?
Yeah.
I want KJ. I want to rub that fro.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, this just got serious.
But anyways.
Yes. But I would kill Brewer, too.
Yeah, but then, trade, keep, and release. Okay, for example, if we were to play that game. Obviously, Corey's released. I mean, who would you keep, Decker or Trez? I'm going to go with Decker. Decker is just versatile. And the type of energy and the position that Harrell plays, it's not exactly as necessary. I mean, there's a lot of energy guys that are bigs in the NBA. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just really feel like Sam Decker, you should not trade him because the potential is there. You can see everything that he does. And in every game, his confidence is being built. The dude hit a 3 at the buzzer to end the first half.
Well, I was thinking maybe one day if he's put into those pressure situations that he might just end up being clutch. So, we're gonna keep our fingers crossed on that. But yeah, no, Justin, I totally get your point in these situations. Man, I would... I would obviously... I don't know if I'd release Brewer. I'd try to probably throw Brewer in a trade. I'd probably release... what's his name? Tyler Ennis. I might just release Tyler Ennis.
Pablo!
Oh, Pablo already got released. Pablo already got released.
See, Pablo!
Oh, my gosh. This just got real. Pablo Escobar? Wasn't that movie called Medellin?
Medellin. On Entourage.
Oh man, straight to DVD. Guys, just to let y'all know, this Rocket season is just it's such a big deal now, and and the Rockets are proven that they are a team worth watching. Being 5-3, this team is definitely a watchable team, guys. If you guys have not been watching the Houston Rockets, get on the TV, find your nearest TV, go hack on the internet, do whatever you got to do, live stream it, whatever you got to do.
Come on, guys. I mean, if y'all have seen like the past this game, the games every season, I feel like Harden, Capella have started each game with an alley-oop dunk. Is it just me, or have you seen that?
I feel like every game's kind of started with an alley-oop. I mean, at least I think so. I think Capella's involved in at least one play.
The very first play of the game, I feel like we always see a pick and roll run by Harden and Capella, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I think guys, that this team is definitely just worth the watch. So guys, if you guys aren't watching, make sure you guys watch for sure. This team is definitely worth it, and they're going to give their heart out every single game. With that said, guys, let me tell you guys right now of the schedule that's coming up within the next week. We are playing San Antonio Spurs on Saturday at home. It is a repeat, basically. It's basically the game. If you remember, a couple weeks ago we played against Dallas, played there, and then we played at home. So this is actually our second home game of the season, and we're almost 10 games in. True story. Jesus. It's crazy. It's quite wild when you think about it. So that just means the home game is gonna happen down the road, which is pretty good. So the San Antonio coming up. We have Philadelphia coming up. So if my fans of Joel Embiid, you will indeed get to see Joel Embiid.
Absolutely.
That was free. That was free. Those jokes don't come around very often. And we got a game at OKC as well.
Jesus.
The coming of Russell Westbrook. I'm thinking Patrick Beverley might be circling that day on his calendar. Maybe crossing fingers. I don't think he'll be back, but I'm sure he's gonna try to be back around that time.
Is it gonna be like the battle of the triple doubles?
Well, they're gonna go back to back against Portland. So Portland at home that following day.
That scares me.
And then then the 7-day culminates with a game at home against Utah. So that is 5 games. That is the next 5 games coming up here. What do you guys think? Are you a fan of this Rockets team? Are you not a fan of this Rockets team? Leave feedback, guys. Let us know. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for taking a listen to us. I know that it's a little late over here. It's like 1 a.m. But we were feeling so enthusiastic about the Rockets. We wanted to put out a pod for you, the fans of the Rockets team. I know you're probably not fans of our pod, but you should be fans of our pod. I mean, who would always want to be friends with Justin and Kenny talking about sports and wrestlers, right? So, guys, thank you so much for taking this listen to us. Follow us at 32 Zone Podcast. We're gonna post this up on the YouTube again. We do have a YouTube account. I did start one. It is literally 32 Zone. I think it's just 32 Zone. Should be just 32. I think
it's okay. It should be 32 Zone Club.
32 Zone Club. Welcome to 32 Zone. Too sweet. And guys, so be sure to subscribe on that, and we're gonna have posted up on our Facebook for everyone to see. It's gonna go in through YouTube. Please keep supporting us, guys. Keep supporting us. Keep supporting these Rockets, these hard Rockets, and please support your nation. I'm not gonna go into politics, but I think everyone understands that. Support your nation. And with that said, guys, you have just officially exited the 3-2 Zone Club. Why? Because we are just too lazy to play man. I'm your host, Kenny. Alongside of me, my tag team partner, Justin. We are your 3-2 Zone, guys. Be safe, be easy, and take